Hey Rockers fans, we are so thrilled to have you join us all here at Truist Point and during our broadcast via YouTube. Thank you for rooting on your home squad. Hey Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you all live from the High Pint. While at the ballpark, please be sure to visit our concessions right on the concourse. We offer everything from chicken fingers to juicy burgers and even yummy ice cream to cool you off on a hot summer's day. Can't watch a baseball game without some delicious treats. Hey Rockers fans, Brittany here. Have you had a chance to download the Live Source app on your phone yet? It's your tool to bid on your favorite players' specialty jerseys. Download the Live Source app now and be ready to bid on your jerseys right at your fingertips. Hey Rockers fans, your Rockers are hopefully rocking their way to the playoffs. Let's cheer them on these last few weeks of the regular season. Thank you for being part of our 2022 journey thus far.
I'll be the last man standing here. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'll have you begging for mercy, begging for mercy. Oh, oh. I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Brought to you by baseball. Well, the phrase you're hearing all throughout the building right now is playoff baseball. And while the Rockers are certainly trying to attain a spot in the 2022 playoffs, well, if last night's game didn't feel like a playoff game, I don't know what will. Good evening, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Truist Point as we get set for the final game of this series between the High Point Rockers and the Lancaster Barnstormers. The Barnstormers are inching their way towards punching a ticket into the postseason field. Rockers a little bit further behind, but still very much in a driver's seat as long as Lancaster does what they're supposed to do. Good evening, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Truist Point. Rockers, Barnstormers, and Liam O'Sullivan on the mound for Game 3 here tonight. Liam O'Sullivan 3-5 with a 7.18 earned run average this year. He is making his 12th start of the year, 52 2/3 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts, 20 walks. Opponents hitting .299 against him in those 11 appearances. You heard Jamie Keefe and Christian Heimel talking about it in the pregame show. The big thing for Liam O'Sullivan, he's a ground ball pitcher, and so the important thing is for him to keep the ball down in the zone. Melvin Mercedes will lead things off for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Played second base yesterday. He's the center fielder today. And he digs into the left-hand box. We are ready to go as Liam O'Sullivan's first pitch of the day, just down and in ball one. We're underway at 6:34 here on Thursday night. It is 77 degrees and sunny. First pitch time and temperature brought to you by Grandover Resorts in Greensboro. Live, work, enjoy. A ball and a strike to Melvin Mercedes, hitting at .291, 11 home runs, 69 batted in. That pitch just high. And the count 2-1. We'll give you the entire lineup here for the Barnstormers in just a moment. Here's the pitch, fastball. There's a called strike. And the count 2-2. 2 starts ago, Liam O'Sullivan, his longest start of the year, into the 7th inning, 6 2/3. Trying to build off of that. This one hit weakly right back to the mound. Mercedes stumbles out of the box. It'll be an easy play. O'Sullivan over to Logan Morrison at first base for out number 1. Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder, will bat second. Batting third is the third baseman, Andretti Cordero. Shortstop Anderson Feliz will hit 6th. Jacob Barfield, the designated hitter, will be the number 5 man. Batting 6th is right fielder Chris Proctor. Anthony Peroni, the catcher, hits 7th. Batting 8th, playing first base, is Joseph Carpenter. And Trace Lair is the second baseman, and he is batting 9th. Here is Trayvon Robinson, .279, 7 home runs, 46 batted in. And O'Sullivan delivers. First pitch, fastball inside, 1-0. Home plate umpire today is Dan Carter. Marcus Neal, the first base umpire, and Nick Sempert is down the third base side. Here's the 1-0. O'Sullivan's pitch misses away, and the count goes to 2-0. Rockers wearing their special pink uniforms today. It's pink at the point. These jerseys available for auction on the Live Source app. So go ahead and place your bids now. Bidding is open. This one a high fly deep down the right field line. That ball is gone just inside the foul line. A solo home run from Trayvon Robinson, and that's a little more frustrating than you may realize. 7 home runs this year for Robinson, but 4 of them, check that, 8 home runs now, and 4 of them have come against the High Point Rockers. That's the problem for Liam O'Sullivan. He's got to be able to keep the ball down, and wasn't able to do it there. Left that one up for Robinson to turn on and drive. So that'll bring up Andretti Cordero now. .335, 14 home runs, and 108 runs batted in. First pitch down and away, and the count 1-0. Yeah, looked at the pitch tracker. Liam O'Sullivan left that one right down the middle for Trayvon Robinson. Here's the 1-0. Cordero grounds this one up the middle. Be a tough play for Alfonso. Gets down, picks it up, throws from his backside, got him. Giovanni Alfonso, a sliding play behind second base, threw it from a seated position, and they threw him out at first base. A strong throw retires Andretti Cordero. We'll give you the rest of the Rockers defense there after you see that fantastic play again by Alfonso. Quincy Lattimore is the left fielder. Ben Aklinski is in center field tonight. Michael Martinez, yesterday's hero, is in right field. Well, Donnie Baldwin Gets the start at third base as the first pitch to Anderson Feliz down and in. Of course, you just met Alfonso at short. The second baseman is Michael Russell. And at first base, Logan Morrison, and Logan Moore is behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Feliz down, or the count pulls even, rather. The count 1-1 after that swing and miss. O'Sullivan delivers. This one popped up into left. Lattimore a couple of steps back and makes the catch. Final out of the inning. A solo home run from Trayvon Robinson. The Barnstormers on the board in the first inning. 1-0. We'll go to the bottom of the first next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Eric Manoah Jr. having a fine season for the Lancaster Barnstormers. He is on the mound today, 3-2 with a 4.16 ERA. This will be his 18th appearance and his 13th start. 75 2/3 innings pitched, 72 strikeouts, 9 home runs allowed. Opponents hitting .205 against him. Rockers saw him during the trip up at Lancaster. Did not go well for the Rockers against Eric Manoah Jr. The High Point lineup is as follows. Leading off is the second baseman, Michael Russell. Michael Martinez, the right fielder, slides up into the number 2 spot today. Hitting third is Logan Morrison, who is the first baseman. Quincy Lattimore, the left fielder, is the cleanup hitter. Xander Wheel, the designated hitter, hitting fifth. Well, Donnie Baldwin gets the start at third base today. He'll bat sixth. Ben Aklinski in center field hits seventh. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, eighth. And Logan Moore, the catcher, will bat in the number 9 spot. Michael Russell hitting at .278, 7 home runs, 47 batted in, and he is a perfect 17 for 17 in stolen bases. Eric Manoah Jr. A no decision when when the Rockers faced him up in Lancaster, but 5 strong innings. Struck out 5 in the process. And if you look at it on paper, he gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, but those came in the first couple innings, and he really was untouchable after that. First pitch to Michael Russell, inside, ball 1. Russell hitting .316 against the Barnstormers this year. Manoah working from the stretch exclusively, fires a fastball inside, 2-0. Mentioned the Rockers wearing their special pink jerseys today. Barnstormers in all gray with red hats. That's your uniform combination. Wind blowing out towards right center. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball, strike, the inside corner, and the count 2-1. Well, the Rockers offense couldn't get started until the end of the day yesterday. We'll see if they get started a little earlier today. Manoah fires, fastball inside, and the count 3-1 now to Russell. We'll set the Barnstormer defense here after the conclusion of Russell's at-bat. Here comes the 3-1. He'll foul this off down the left field side on the ground, and the count goes full. Most of the infield is shaded, as is probably about 40% of the outfield, specifically down the left and right field lines. Melvin Mercedes has to contend with the sun out there in center field. Payoff pitch coming to Michael Russell. He'll swing, pop it up into left. There is Trayvon Robinson. 2 steps in, now 3. And that is the first out of the High Point Rockers offensive evening. Robinson is in left, Melvin Mercedes in center. Chris Proctor is in right field, Andretti Cordero at third base, Anderson Feliz, the shortstop. Trace Layer is at second base today. Joseph Carpenter first base, and Anthony Perrone is behind the dish. Yesterday's hero, Michael Martinez, 291, 5 home runs, 30 batted in, hitting .313 with 7 of those 30 RBIs coming against the Lancaster Barnstormers. Manoa's first pitch to Martinez, curveball, called strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. Rockers are in the driver's seat for a postseason spot as Martinez takes low. And the count 1-1. The big thing is staying ahead of the Genomes. That's pretty much all the Rockers have to do at this point. Curveball misses, and the count 2-1. Because if there ends up being one wild card team, that would mean that Lancaster wins the division, and then that would put High Point over the Genomes. If there are 2 wild card teams, it means that Southern Maryland has rallied to take the North, and then Lancaster and High Point would be the 2 teams ahead of the Genomes. So again, right now all that matters is the Rockers' position relative to Wild Health, as that pitch low, 3-1. And so this weekend will be a huge series for the Rockers. They travel to the Genomes, take on Wild Health for a 3-game series as Russell takes high, ball 4. 1-out walk. Check that. Martinez takes that one for a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Logan Morrison. Morrison, 273, 12 home runs, and 47 runs batted in. A heavy shift put on by the Lancaster defense. 3 defenders in the infield on the first base side, and that one grounded first base side, but it will go foul. Andretti Cordero standing over there in the shortstop position. Logan Morrison, not normally one to go the opposite way, but if he were to put one that way, he could run for days, even though he's not necessarily the fleetest of foot. It would take a long time for somebody to get to a baseball hit down the left field side. That off-speed pitch way up and away, and the count 1-1. Quincy Lattimore, the man on deck for High Point. Season series tied at 4 between the Rockers and Barnstormers. High Point swept a series here to start the year. Morrison fouls that off, 1-2. Lancaster swept a series up at Clipper Magazine Stadium to make it 3-3, and then they've split the first 2 games of this series, so 4-4. So tonight we'll decide the season series. Rockers have the all-time advantage over Lancaster, 27-12. The Barnstormers are 3-16 here at Truist Point, so home field advantage perhaps a thing here when these 2 teams play. Here comes a 1-2 to Morrison. Fastball, Morrison swings, drives this deep into right field. Look out, scoreboard! It hits off the top of the scoreboard. Rockabye baseball. The Rockers take a 2-1 lead. Well, last year, Logan Morrison hit one over the scoreboard against Lancaster. That time didn't quite get over, but still a mammoth blast nonetheless. That is his 13th of the year. RBIs numbers 48 and 49. So for High Point, getting the run back here immediately, answering in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Quincy Lattimore. That's probably the biggest blast of the year for Logan Morrison. First pitch to Quincy Lattimore. He rips this one, a one-hopper to short. Nice play by Anderson Feliz. Gets up, throws Lattimore out at first base. So a good play by the Lancaster shortstop for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Xander Wheel. Xander Wheel hitting at .261, 29 home runs and 91 runs batted in. First pitch, fastball called strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. Roldani Baldwin making his return in the on-deck circle right now. Xander Wheel looking for his 30th home run. Would be the first player to ever reach 30 as a Rocker. Check swing on that one, and the ball kicks off of Anthony Peroni and goes probably about a third of the way down the first baseline. It's a ball and a strike to Xander Wheel. Very late check down to first base, umpire Marcus Neal, to see if Wheel went around, and Neal confirms that Xander did not. Here's the 1-1. Grounded towards third base. Backing up on it is Cordero. Throw across to first is in time, and that is the final out of the inning. Both teams hit a home run in the first inning. A solo shot for Trayvon Robinson puts the Barnstormers on the board, and the Rockers answer with a 2-run blast from Logan Morrison. We'll go to the second. Rockers lead 2-1 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the second, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Barnstormers. That is Jacob Barfield, Chris Proctor, and Anthony Peroni against Liam O'Sullivan. Jacob Barfield, .239, 3 home runs, 19 batted in, and limited action for the Barnstormers this year. In fact, it's over the span of 36 contests. O'Sullivan looking to bounce back. Did not have a bad first inning by any stretch of the imagination. Just the one mistake pitch to Trayvon Robinson. But now with the lead, we'll see if he can put a couple of zeros up on the board. First pitch. They're going to check and see if he went. Barfield did not. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. O'Sullivan ready. 1-0 on the way. Hit on the ground to third. Right there. Easy play for Oldani Baldwin. Throw is low, but Logan Morrison makes the play. And that is one away here in the top of the second. That'll bring up former High Point Rocker Chris Proctor. Proctor hitting at .266, 2 home runs, 30 batted in. With the Rockers this year, Proctor was hitting .296, hitting .224 with the Barnstormers. However, both of his 2 home runs have come in a Lancaster uniform. So many new faces for the Rockers since Proctor played here earlier this year. There's a strike 0-1. In fact, the Rockers battery of O'Sullivan and Moore, both of them new faces. Here's the 0-1. Proctor will take high, 1 ball, 1 strike. A ball and a strike coming from O'Sullivan. That one high, 2-1. Again, they talked about it in the pregame show. Got to keep the ball down. This one, a one-hopper to Alfonso at short. Throw on to first base, and there's 2 away. Of the 5 outs recorded by Liam O'Sullivan, 5 outs recorded by O'Sullivan, 4 of them have been on the ground. Here is Anthony Peroni, .233, 2 home runs, 27 batted in. First pitch to Peroni. Fastball inside, backs him off of the plate. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. You know, Jamie Keefe loves having Logan Moore back behind the plate after some of the misses. Is that pitch a called strike? Logan Moore will look into the dugout and kind of explain what's going on out there, or motion with his hand, maybe a release point for O'Sullivan. It's like having another coach out there. Logan Moore was a guy they wanted to get a couple years ago. They're glad they got him. Ground ball to short. Alfonso on to first base, and that is the final out of the inning. 3 quick ground outs for Liam O'Sullivan in the second inning, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 2. Rockers still up 2-1 in the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the second inning. Rockers with 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Roldani, Baldwin, Ben Aklinski, Giovanni Alfonso, the 3 scheduled hitters. Roldani Baldwin making his return from the injured list today, hitting at .273, 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. And while we talk about the injured list, Ivan Pinheiro continues to be on said injured list for the Rockers, but he's the only one on the injured list right now. And if you missed it in the Rockers pregame show, Christian Heimel talked with Jamie Keefe earlier today. And the good news, the X-ray from Jerry Downs was negative, so no broken bone. He was hit by a pitch yesterday. That pitch a strike, and the count 0-1. Jamie said Jerry was lobbying to be in tomorrow night's lineup, but he thought maybe Saturday or Sunday was more likely. That pitch high to Baldwin in the count 1-1. But the good news and the point being, Jerry just a day or two off, and he'll be ready to go. Now, Jamie did say perhaps could use him off of the bench tomorrow. Big swing and a miss from Roldani Baldwin, and the count 1-2. Baldwin swings and a towering pop-up in the infield. Peroni is there, as is Manoah, and it's the first baseman Carpenter going to make the catch. So a foul pop-up down the first base line for out number 1. Here's Ben Aklinski, .271, 17 home runs, and 70 batted in. First pitch to Aklinski. There's a called strike in the count 0-1. Well, we talked about the walk-off yesterday for Martinez. Ben Aklinski has authored the most walk-offs by a High Point Rockers hitter this year. That pitch inside in the count 1-1. 8 walk-off victories for High Point this year. One shy of the record of 9 set in 2019. Here's the 1-1. Off speed. Aklinski takes that for a strike. And it's 1-2. Manoah ready. Off speed. Aklinski lines this one weakly to second base on a couple of hops. Lair has it. Throws to first. It's close, but it's in time, and that is the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, hitting at .292 at a nice 2-hit day yesterday. Eric Manoah Jr. on the mound is the brother of Toronto Blue Jays ace Alek Manoah, an all-star earlier this year, is 14-7 with Toronto this season, sporting an ERA of 2.42. 158 strikeouts for Alek Manoah this year, and he's just becoming a star in Toronto at 24 years old. First pitch to Alfonso was a strike. Here comes the 0-1. He'll pop it up, right field side. It's foul, but we'll see if Carpenter has enough room. He will not. So the count 0-2 to Alfonso. Here comes an 0-2. Manoah holds the set, delivers high and tight to Alfonso. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Could we be seeing an Atlantic League Championship preview this week? If so, we'll be in for some great postseason baseball. That pitch inside, 2-2. next week when the Rockers host the Honey Hunters, we could be seeing a preview of the first round. High Point's got to stay ahead of the Genomes. We'll give you a full scoreboard report here in the fourth inning. That pitch inside. And the count goes full. One thing we'll tell you, though, right now, Gastonia on top of the Genomes. It is 2-1 in the first inning. There's still a lot of baseball to be played there. Payoff pitch coming to Alfonso. Off speed outside. They're going to ring him up strike three. Alfonso doesn't think so, but that's the final out of the inning. So both pitchers rebound with 1-2-3 seconds, and we'll head to the third. Rockers on top 2-1 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany here coming to you all live from the High Pint. Please come visit us at the High Pint for some craft beers, some snacks, and of course, lots of great merchandise to choose from. We have everything from t-shirts to stuffies, hats, baby gear, and even items for your furry friends. Pop by the High Pint next time you visit Truist Point Stadium.
Top of the third inning, 8-9-1 coming up for the Barnstormers. That's Joseph Carpenter, Trace Lair, and Melvin Mercedes. Rockers with a 2-1 advantage. Let's take a look at what the standings look like, and we'll try to give you a better idea of the postseason picture. So obviously, Southern Maryland and Gastonia both already in. Gastonia with a 7.5 game advantage over Lexington. Kentucky, or the Wild Health, 8.5 out. The Rockers 9 out. Charleston eliminated at the bottom of the division. Lancaster, a 5-game lead over Southern Maryland, while Staten Island, Long Island, and York are all eliminated already in the North Division. As far as the wild card goes, Rockers a half game on the Barnstormers. Should the Barnstormers become a wild card contender and get knocked out of the top of the North Division, as that pitch is strike. Then you've got the Genomes, 3.5 out. Long Island is 6 out. Lexington, York, Charleston, and Staten Island have all already been eliminated from the wild card race. So that tells you that York, Charleston, and Staten Island are completely eliminated from the postseason picture coming into today. Long Island has to get in as a wild card. Lexington would have to win the division. Now we've got a little bit of a delay here. I am assuming this is the same sun delay that we were getting yesterday. Waiting to get confirmation. We saw this happen during an at-bat yesterday for Alfonso. Logan Moore going out to talk with O'Sullivan. I think home plate umpire Dan Carter is going out as well, just to make sure it doesn't they don't talk about anything that would necessarily constitute a mound visit. Just got confirmation we are once again under a sun delay, and that is part of the odd things here at the ballpark. Okay, just something that happens here in the fall. see how long it takes. Yesterday, I think it was just 2 or 3 minutes. Umpire Dan Carter already making his way back to the home plate area. And, yeah, he has just signified down to the Rockers dugout. He pointed at his eyes, and so we are dealing with that right now. I guess it's just however long until the umpire decides that we're good to go. It can only happen for probably about 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes yesterday. Well, we got the Rockers starting rotation for this weekend against the Genomes. We don't know who Wild Health is throwing yet, but Mitch Atkins will be getting the ball tomorrow, coming off of his first win as a High Point Rocker, and then it'll be Craig Stem on Saturday, Neil Uscali on Sunday. We'll have 1 week left of the regular season. We're certainly hoping for a return of Ivan Pinheiro. Jamie Keefe seemed pretty confident that it may be sooner rather than later. He thought that Pinheiro may be able to return next week, maybe be able to get a tune-up before the postseason, and then they would be ready to go. Right now, Logan Moore is talking to home plate umpire Dan Carter. I think trying to figure out lines of sight. Look at Giovanni Alfonso behind the pitcher's mound, was putting his glove up trying to block the sun. That's funny. Well, this has become a little bit of a longer delay than what we had yesterday. I'll be honest with you, not a whole lot going on right now. Everybody's just kind of standing around. So, you know what, we're going to step aside just for a second, and hopefully we'll be about ready to play ball when we come back on the Rockers Baseball Network. Well, I can report the sun is still out, and we are still not playing baseball. Jamie Keefe is now talking to home plate umpire Dan Carter back behind the plate. Jamie was standing in the umpire's position, just trying to get a view and see what the line of sight looked like right now. The count is 0-2 to Joseph Carpenter. Now Frank Viola looks like he's going to go back behind the mound. He's talking to Shane Poling, to facilities director or facilities manager. Shane's getting just a perfect look right down the line of sight that the catcher and the batter and the umpire would all have. Now Ross Peoples is going to join the conversation as well. And, you know, it just kind of seems that with the addition of the new building out there in center field, this has become a bit more of an issue. Now, you remember in 2019, it seemed that the issue, because we had a couple of sun delays, in 2019, but it wasn't because of the building out there. You see the black batter's eye. If I remember correctly, in 2019, that was a different material, a different black material that was used, and you would get a glare of the sun off of the batter's eye, and that would be more in a line of sight with the hitter, and that would be coming directly back into their eyes. And so we had sun delays in 2019. However, it was more because of that black batter's eye and less because of the windows of the stock and grain assembly food hall we have now. Now, also, after the 2019 season, part of the issue was there was some sunlight that was coming in from the back of the concourse behind home plate. And what they did, they were able to put some signage and kind of rearrange some things that could hang down a little bit and block the sun behind home plate. And that restricted the amount of sunlight that was directly hitting the batter's eye behind center field. But now, obviously, with how high up those windows go, there's nothing that we can do here in terms of behind the plate to be able to really block out the sun from that aspect. So this is a little bit of something that I don't think that we really foresaw being an issue this year or weren't really ready for, but it certainly appears that this is something that is going to have to be addressed and going to have to be looked at as we go into the offseason and get ready for next year. Liam O'Sullivan taking a couple of warm-up tosses really quickly. And I think we're about ready to get back underway here. O'Sullivan is throwing about 3 or 4 warm-up tosses. Home plate umpire now talking to Joseph Carpenter, but it appears that we are about ready to get back underway as the outfielders starting to head back to their positions. Rockers infielders starting to do the same, although Donnie Baldwin is down over there talking to Melvin Mercedes over at the stairs at the Lancaster dugout. Now he's heading back to third base. Carpenter is heading back into his spot. I think they're making sure everybody can see and they're ready to go. Now Carpenter was shaking his head, and looks like we may be under a bit of a longer delay than what we had initially expected. Now players starting to walk around a little bit more now. Well, while we've got a moment, a reminder that the jerseys that the Rockers are wearing today are available for auction on the Live Source app. So go ahead and download the Live Source app if you have not done so already and place your bid. These jerseys are available, so go ahead and grab or place your bid for your chance to grab a bit of game-worn memorabilia of your favorite High Point Rocker. These will benefit Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Hayworth Cancer Center in support of breast cancer research. Jersey auction again is live now and will be up for a couple of days still. Again, that is the Live Source app, a place where you can go to download or to place your bid on these special breast cancer jerseys that the Rockers are wearing. Also, on September the 11th at 6:30 a.m., it's the second annual Climb to Remember. It's an annual stair climb at Truist Point to remember those that perished in the tragic events of September the 11th. It is an open event for the entire community, whether or not you climb the stairs or just support the first responders who participate in that event. So again, that is at 6:30 here at Truist Point. We certainly invite you to come out and spend some time with us here that day, a day of reflection, a day of remembrance, and a day of community. That will be on Sunday. All right, I think we've got a thumbs up here. I think we're about ready to get back underway for real this time. And you wonder, too, if this is just going to continue to be an issue. as we go over the next, tomorrow's a home, or next week's home series, and then if there's any postseason games here, we'll see if this becomes a bit of a recurring theme or not. But anyways, we are finally ready to get back underway here. It is an 0-2 count to Carpenter with nobody out in the top of the third inning. O'Sullivan ready, and here comes the 0-2. That's hit on the ground, foul. The count remains 0-2. So a bit of an interesting delay there. Second day in a row. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded foul, this time to the right, or the left field side. And the count remains 0-2. O'Sullivan looking for the put-away pitch on Carpenter. That one just off the low and outside corner. Didn't get the call. The count 1-2 strikes. O'Sullivan a little miffed that he did not get the call there. 1-2 strikes. And Liam delivers. This one's popped up foul. The count remains 1-2. Carpenter, we mentioned, just a .222 hitter with 4 runs batted in. Has not been here particularly long. Here comes a 1-2. O'Sullivan delivers, bounces that one to the plate, and it's 2-2. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming. Swing and a miss. Carpenter chases it low, strike 3. That is O'Sullivan's first strikeout of the night. He is not a strikeout pitcher necessarily. Here is Trace Lair. Yesterday the third baseman, today the second baseman. 232, 2 home runs, 30 batted in. Fastball inside, 1-0. Fastball. There's a called strike at the knees. O'Sullivan works quickly. Lair lines it right field. It is going to stay fair. Martinez is going to cut it off in the corner, but Lair on his way to second base. Here comes the throw. It's close, but it is not in time. A double for Trace Lair. Here in the third inning, we'll bring up Melvin Mercedes with a runner in scoring position. Rockers ahead 2-1 in the top of the third. 1 run on 2 hits for Lancaster, 2 runs on 1 hit for High Point. Melvin Mercedes hitting just under 290 now. O'Sullivan ready with the first pitch. Third baseman Baldwin in at third base. Check swing foul into the Lancaster dugout, and the count is 0-1. Genomes have just put up a couple of runs in the bottom of the second inning. They now lead Gastonia 3-2. Eli Villanueva and Ian McKinney, the pitching matchup there. Here comes an 0-1, timeout called. At the plate by Melvin Mercedes. Oh, 1 on the way. O'Sullivan holds the set and delivers high. The count goes to 1-1 strike. Alfonso standing behind Trace Lair at second base, keeping him somewhat close by. Mercedes will pop it up into left field. It's curling foul. Long run for Lattimore. He's able to get to it in foul territory, though, and that is out number 2. A long run for King Q. But he covers the necessary ground for out number 2. Here's Trayvon Robinson. Robinson homered in the first inning, so we'll see if O'Sullivan pitches him a little bit differently here, specifically trying to stay away from the heart of the plate. That's where he got burned back in the first inning. Went inside, outside, and then right down the middle, and Robinson sent it a long way. First pitch, Robinson will take a strike. The throw down to second base. Good play by Alfonso to keep that from going into the outfield. Logan Moore thought he had a shot to throw behind Trace Lair and ended up almost throwing it away. So the count 0-1. And O'Sullivan delivers. This one lined into left. Lattimore going back, still going back, leaps, and the ball's over his head. It's going to tie the game. Lair comes into second. It's an RBI double for Trayvon Robinson, who has driven in both of the Barnstormer runs today. 48 RBIs for Trayvon. That'll bring up Andretti Cordero, grounded out to short. So we're now tied up at 2 here in the top of the third inning. Andretti Cordero up at the top 5 in batting average and in runs batted in. Second in RBIs in the Atlantic League and second in batting average behind Alejandro De Aza. Here comes a 1-0. O'Sullivan delivers. Cordero skies it into right. Michael Martinez is there. Should be the final out of the inning. And it is. So an RBI double for Trayvon Robinson ties us up at 2. We'll head to the bottom of the third on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, your Rockers are hopefully rocking their way to the playoffs. Let's cheer them on these last few weeks of the regular season. Thank you for being part of our 2022 journey thus far.
Bottom of the third inning, Rockers will have 9-1-2 coming up. That's Logan Moore, Michael Russell, and Michael Martinez. Well, while Liam O'Sullivan had that long delay, at least he was standing, walking around, throwing a couple of pitches. Eric Manoa had to spin that delay in the Lancaster dugout, so he's been on the bench for a considerable time now. Leading off is Logan Moore, 0 for 2 with High Point this year. Rockers had him the open and close of last season. Hit .209 with High Point with 3 home runs in 30 games. Played with AAA Lehigh Valley in the Phillies organization last season. High Point Thought they were going to have him for this year. Ended up heading to Mexico right before the season started. Hit 250 in 45 games for Monclova. And is back in a Rockers uniform. Logan Moore will take strike one. Good defensive catcher. He's got a little bit of pop. That pitch high. The count 1-1. One of the things J.B. Keefe always talks about with Moore is the way that he calls the game. So that's one of the biggest reasons they got him in that dispersal draft when the New Britain Bees were, when they left the Atlantic League following 2019. Moore swings, slams this one into right field, but right at Chris Proctor. Proctor will put it away out number one, and that'll bring up Michael Russell. Russell skied out to left field his first time up. Yesterday, we spent the majority of the day tied at 1. Will we be tied at 2 for a long time today? Eric Manoah holds the set. First pitch coming to Russell. Swing and a miss. Slider down and away. Russell chased it, and it's 0-1. After tonight, 3 home games remain on the Rockers' regular season slate. Hard to believe we are that close to the end. Russell lines this one right at second base. It's scooped up by the second baseman Lair. Throw on to first base anyways, just to make sure, and Russell retired either way for out number 2. Here is Michael Martinez. Walked and scored his first time up. He's been able to boost his batting average recently. Not this time, though. He'll pop it up. First pitch in foul territory. Long run. And, it's going to drop. I thought if for a moment that ball was going to be an easy pickings, either for third baseman Andretti Cordero or right or left fielder Trayvon Robinson, but that ball just kept curling and curling away from the fielders. Michael Martinez stays alive, 0-1. Manoah holds the set, 0-1 on the way. Rockers' one hit today is the Logan Morrison home run. Martinez will take inside, and it's 1-1. Peroni holding the ball for a moment, surprised he didn't get the call from Dan Carter. Here comes the 1-1. There's a fastball outside, 2-1. Speaking of Logan Morrison, he is in the on-deck circle. Should Martinez extend the third inning? That pitch high, 3-1. Well, you know that if Logan comes up to bat, they're going to try to stay away from giving him anything up and in. Taken all the way. There's a strike on the inside corner. Count goes full. Noah working quickly. Payoff pitch on the way. Martinez grounds it just down the first base line, past the dive of first baseman Carpenter. Martinez will put on the brakes, though, because getting to it quickly was Chris Proctor. That's a base hit right down the line. Logan Morrison, the man up. Manoah ready. First pitch on the way. Morrison chasing off speed low. And the count 0-1. We are tied at 2. Lights on here at the ballpark. Sun is on its way down. Will not have any other delays due to sunlight tonight. Here's the 0-1. Morrison takes down. Snap throw down to first base. Martinez back in safely. That entire sequence of events just kind of seemed like it happened in slow motion. A slow throw by Peroni, and Martinez just kind of shuffling back into first base. Here comes a 1-1 to Morrison. Fastball low. The count 2-1. You know, they're going to try to pitch low to him. All 3 pitches have been down so far. Even the pitch he chased was down out of the zone. And they've all been to the lower inside corner specifically. Two balls and a strike. Morrison takes that off-speed pitch down. Obviously didn't go, but the Barnstormer catcher Peroni wanted a check anyways. And the count 3-1. Three Barnstormer defenders on the first base side of second. Andretti Cordero, the only infielder on the left side, and he's standing in the shortstop position. Here's the 3-1. Morrison fouls it off, and the count goes full. Carpenter's not going to hold Martinez off here with the count 3-2. He'll be off. And here comes the payoff pitch. Morrison will take inside, ball 4. A close pitch, but a good take for Logan. And that'll put 2 aboard for Quincy Lattimore, who grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Lattimore, 18 home runs, 66 batted in. The average dropping, though, to 248, which is kind of a little unexpected for Lattimore. You normally kind of expect to see him in that 260 range. Martinez at second, Morrison at first. Lattimore, a native of Raleigh, North Carolina. Attended Middle Creek High School in Apex. Takes ball 1 here from Manoah. Eric Manoah up over 50 pitches here in the third inning. That pitch down and away, 2-0. He is at 52 pitches, with 28 of them being strikes. Liam O'Sullivan through 3 innings is at 40 pitches, with 25 strikes. Here's the 2-0. Grounded left field. It's going to get through. It's a base hit. They're waving around Michael Martinez. Here comes the throw from Trayvon Robinson. It's cut off. Logan Morrison's tagged out on the way to third base, though. But the run, I think, is going to count. Yes, it does. The run counts. We're tied. Or the Rockers have broken the tie, rather. They've taken a 3-2 lead. Logan Morrison out on his way to third. But, again, Lattimore drives in the run with the base hit. Rockers lead 3-2. And we will head to the top of the 4th inning on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning, Rockers a 3-2 lead on Quincy Lattimore's 67th RBI of the year. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Barnstormers. Anderson Feliz, Jacob Barfield, and Chris Proctor. Rockers' magic number to clinch the wild card is 8 coming into today, meaning any combination of 8 Rockers wins or Genome losses would clinch the wild card spot. First pitch to Anderson Feliz down and in, ball 1. And with that knowledge in mind, let's take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard report. Feliz swing and a miss, 1-1. Southern Maryland on top of Staten Island, 4-0. Mitch Lamson blanking the Ferry Hawks after 3 innings. 1-1 to Feliz, down low, 2-1. York leading Long Island 3-2. They're in the top of the third inning there. Charleston trailing Lexington 3-1 after 2 innings of play. And the Genomes on top of the Honey Hunters 3-2. They are in the top of the third. Anderson Feliz will foul that one off. And the count 2-2. You also got to keep an eye on Courtney Hawkins. He is chasing the Atlantic League single-season home run record. 0 for 1 today. Is 4 home runs behind Ozzie Canseco's record. He's got about a week and a half left to try to get it. That pitch fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. Not only that, but Ozzie did it almost at the very beginning of the Atlantic League's existence, about 2 years in. Here's the 2-2. This one hit on the ground up the middle. It's a base hit for Anderson Feliz to lead off the fourth inning. That'll bring up Jacob Barfield, the designated hitter. Lancaster 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. High Point 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Rockers the best defensive team in the Atlantic League. In terms of fielding percentage, .982 as a team. First pitch popped up, foul territory. Logan Morrison calling for it. Can't find it. Now he's fouled it again, makes the catch as he stumbles for out number 1. It's not the first time we've seen a couple of players seem to struggle with the ball up in the twilight here at Truist Point. That'll bring up Chris Proctor, grounded out to short his first time up. A low but almost full-looking moon out there in right field past the scoreboard. Is tonight the full moon? That pitch high. Full moon is tomorrow. So, yeah, if you look out past right field, it's almost a full moon. Here's the 1-0. Proctor will take a strike. And the count goes to 1-1. O'Sullivan ready, 1-1 on the way. Looks over his shoulder at Feliz. Holds the set and delivers. Timeout called right as O'Sullivan delivered. So that pitch does not count. Proctor knocked a couple of triples here at Truist Point while he was still wearing a Rockers uniform. Swing and a miss there. And the count 1-2. Rockers infield shifted a little bit to the first base side. Not heavy, but enough to at least be noticeable. Here comes the pitch high. The count 2-2. O'Sullivan just over 50 pitches here in the top of the fourth. I think they'd love to get him through 6. Anything after that would be a bonus. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball inside corner, doesn't get the call, and O'Sullivan can't believe it. Good looking fastball there from the High Point righty, but the count full. We'll look on the pitch tracker in a moment and see where that pitch ended up missing. According to pitch tracker, it didn't. Here's the 3-2. That's fouled off. Proctor staying alive here in the top of the fourth inning. Tonight, the next to last dollar beer night of the season. Rockers will host Gastonia next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All 6:35 first pitches, so make sure you grab your tickets at highpointrockers.com. You don't want to miss High Point's last home games of the regular season. This hit on the ground to second. Goes to Alfonso for 1. The relay to first base is in time. A 4-6-3 double play. And that is a way to tidy up the top of the fourth inning. And with that, we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Rockers maintain a 3-2 lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning, or bottom of the fourth inning, rather. Rockers lead 3-2. High Point has 5, 6, and 7 coming up. That's Xander Wheel, Roldani Baldwin, and Ben Aklinski. We're about 30 minutes away from the kickoff of the 2022 NFL season. The Bills and the Rams kicking things off to ring in the start of, well, at least in pro football. College football obviously really got underway last week with the big week 1 matchups. A lot of big games involving ACC schools to kick off the season. Best of luck to any of you who have fantasy football interests. I know Frank Viola has 2 or 6. At least one of his teams better do well this year. We'll check with him at some point over the next week or so and get his thoughts and see how he expects to do this year. Before long, we'll be able to talk to Frank about if they're able to set a postseason rotation or how he sees that playing out. First, though, the Rockers have to get to the postseason. First pitch to Xander Wheel, inside ball 1. Xander grounded out to third base his first time up. Eric Manoah ready with the 1-0. Wheel swings, grounds it third base side. And the count 1-1. The Vanderbilt product seems almost a shoe-in to pick up his 30th home run of the year. The question is, can he get to 100 RBIs? No Rocker has ever done that. Any home run and any RBI that Xander picks up from here on out will be the new team record for a single season. Here comes the 1-1 from Manoah. Right-hander delivers, that sails high, and it's 2-1. An easy take there for Xander Wheel. Well, the Rockers have the third best earned run average as a pitching staff in the Atlantic League. Lancaster is right behind them with the fourth best. We can break it down a little bit further for you here. First the 2-1, Wheel slams it foul. Jamie Keefe has to duck down to avoid getting hit with that one. Although I think Jamie may think he's a little taller than he actually is. I think that ball would have cleared him by about a foot. But still, Jamie just trying to be safe and get out of the way. Manoah ready with a 2-2 to Xander Wheel. And the righty delivers. Xander swings, lines it down the left field side. It's going to curl foul. Had home run distance, but just wasn't able to keep it in between the lines, so the count remains 2-2. The Barnstormers, starters' third best ERA in the Atlantic League at 4.74. Their bullpen is more in the middle, sixth best ERA at 4.47. By comparison, the Rockers right behind Lancaster in starter ERA. They're fourth at 4.86. Their bullpen third at 3.86. Wheel takes low, and the count full. Manoah today has walked 2. O'Sullivan has yet to walk 1. Payoff pitch coming with Roldani Baldwin on deck. Here's the 3-2. Wheel takes up and away, ball 4. Leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Roldani Baldwin, who popped up in foul territory his first time up. Sure, we may see Baldwin catching Mickey Janis some going forward. We talked about it in the pregame show. Christian Heimel and Jamie Keefe did, that Baldwin spent a little time catching Stephen Wright in the Red Sox system. That pitch high and in, 1-0. So perhaps out of all the Rockers catchers, he may be the most comfortable, perhaps, catching a knuckler. We'll see. But how about that start from Mickey Janis yesterday? 7 2/3 innings, gave up just the 1 run. Baldwin swings, high fly into left, not deep though. Trayvon Robinson couldn't find it for a second, but puts it away for the first out of the inning. Seen that a couple times today. Some fielders just put their hands out to their side saying, where's the ball? But Robinson was able to find it. That'll bring up Beneklinski. Ben grounded out to second base his first time up. That would not be ideal here. It would be a double play. Or at least potential for one. First pitch to Aklinski, swings, slams it. It's going to be off of the glove of the third baseman Cordero and go into left field for a base hit. It was a line drive that Cordero timed perfectly, but the ball just caromed off of the top of his glove. I'm not sure if he had full extension or not. Almost looked like he should have made the catch. It's going to be a base hit. It'll put 2 aboard for Giovanni Alfonso. Cordero certainly looked a little unhappy with himself, thinking he should have caught that ball. Now there are 4 hits per side. Alfonso struck out looking his first time up. And here comes the first pitch. Both runners go. The throw is not going to go anywhere. It's a double steal. Peroni bluffed a throw, ended up just eating the baseball. That is Xander Wheel's 9th stolen base. That has been Aklinski's 18th, and that is the new team lead this season. He and Michael Russell had been tied at 17 with Russell's 17th yesterday. Infield has come in with the count 0-1 to Alfonso. He swings, lines it into center field. That gets down a base hit. Xander Wheel stumbled a little bit. He'll only be able to come in, and Beniklinski will have to hold at third base. But it's an RBI base hit for Giovanni Alfonso. The all-time hit king for the Rockers gives them another. On the scoreboard, it is now 4-2 High Point as Lancaster pitching coach Mark Johnson is going to come out and talk. That is Alfonso's 41st run batted in. So High Point with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning will have runners at the corners. Runner at third base, Aklinski. Runner at first base, Alfonso. And the batter will be Logan Moore, who is 0 for 3 as a Rocker. Mound visit has concluded. Well, the Rockers in this series, at least making things difficult for Lancaster. Just trying to clinch the North Division. They are in the middle of what's going to be a 15-game road trip for the Barnstormers. Came into High Point 6-3. First pitch to Logan Moore, off-speed pitch, missed inside, 1-0. They are now 7-4, and they head to Charleston after this. Eric Manoah Jr. just had a staring contest with home plate umpire Dan Carter. That's not going to put you in the home plate umpire's good graces. Looking at the pitch tracker, though, Eric Manoah, I think, has a little bit of a reason to be frustrated. Good looking pitch to Logan Moore. Here's the 1-0. Moore will take that one low in the count 2-0. Top of the lineup, waiting on deck in the form of Michael Russell. Manoah holds the set. Here's the 2-0. Logan Moore will take that one for a strike. And the count 2-1. Manoah at 67 pitches, 36 of them for strikes. Logan Moore fouls that off, and the count 2-2. Liam O'Sullivan, 54 pitches, 34 of them for strikes. Liam, I think, in a little bit better shape here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here comes a 2-2. Off-speed, swing and a miss. Moore couldn't handle the off-speed pitch. And that is the second out of the fourth inning, and that'll bring up Michael Russell, who's 0 for 2. A base hit would bring in Aklinski. First pitch, a fastball up and in around the head of Russell at 87 miles an hour. We are in deep sunset here, deep twilight. The sky a dark blue. Off-speed pitch, strike on the inside corner. The count 1-1. Good crowd here tonight on a Thursday night, or at least a loud crowd. Everybody feeling the buzz. The push for the postseason is upon us for the High Point Rockers. Here comes the 1-1. Russell will take high and a little outside. And the count 2-1. You know, it's kind of been just an understanding at this point. It's a long season. You're going to have peaks and valleys, and the Rockers have weathered some valleys, let me tell you. A couple of 10-game skids this year. Russell pops it up, first base side. Carpenter gives it a look. It'll get out of play. The count 2-2. But they started off the season red hot. They're playing better here as we've gotten out of June and July. I mean, let's take those 2 months. The Rockers go 20-34 in June and July. They have gone 20-13 since then. Here's a 2-2 to Russell, way up and in. Russell hits the deck. The count goes full. Eric Manoah has not had his best control today. We've seen a couple of pitches sail up and into right-hand batters. Here comes a 3-2. That's down low, ball 4. That'll load the bases. Russell a little bit unhappy. There were 2 pitches that sailed up around his head in that at-bat. He glared at Manoah on his way down the first base. So that'll bring up Michael Martinez, yesterday's hero. He's homered with the bases loaded already in this series, and the fans know it. They're cheering as he comes up to the plate. Martinez has walked and singled and scored twice today. First pitch, he swings, grounds it first base side, and the count 0-1. Manoah holds the set, or looks to get the sign from Peroni, rather. Now comes set. Bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the 4th. Martinez chases it down low. He's down to the count 0-2. Martinez rocking the high pink socks. A lot of rockers going with the high socks. When you got different colors, you got cool socks, you got to show them off. Here's an 0-2. He'll take that one high, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We were over there waiting outside. I was over there talking to Jason. We were waiting outside the bathroom for y'all. And then we sent a lady in to look for y'all. Y'all weren't in there.
Martinez, the oldest player
They're over there.
on the High Point roster. Born in 1982, fouls that one off. The count remains 1-2. Manoah delivers the 1-2. Martinez takes it inside, 2-2. Aklinski at third, Alfonso at second, Russell at first. Timeout taken by, it's actually Anthony Peroni that takes the timeout. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Michael Martinez will leave the bases loaded. The Rockers do get 1 in the inning. The RBI base hit from Giovanni Alfonso, and the Rockers lead it 4-2 as we head to the 5th of the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 5th inning. Those of you on YouTube, you see that great shot of the moon. Fantastic camera work today by our High Point camera crew. I mentioned the full moon tomorrow. Today we are seeing, basically they said 95.7% of the moon today. It is a waxing gibbous if you're into your moon phases. Top of the 5th inning. The Rockers hoping the moon and stars and planets and what have you all align to send this team to the postseason this year. It's Peroni, Carpenter, and Lair, the bottom third of the Lancaster lineup here in the 5th. First pitch from Liam O'Sullivan, misses low in the count 1-0. A fastball, that misses 2-0. Anthony Peroni grounded out to short his first time up. Here's the 2-0. That's taken for a strike, and the count is 2-1. Well, as we near the end of the season, got to brag on our tech team and our camera operators, and I do think we've got one of the best crews in the Atlantic League. Aaron Tribble and company do a fantastic job down there, and they do a great job putting up the product that we're able to bring to you every night as Peroni flies out to right field for the first out of the ball game, or for the first out of the 5th inning. Here's Joseph Carpenter, struck out his first time up, and to date is the only strikeout victim for Liam O'Sullivan tonight. This time, picks on the first pitch, fouls it off, right field side, count 0-1. O'Sullivan working, here's the 0-1, grounded right back to him. O'Sullivan falls down, gets up and throws the ball over to first base. I think he just got his feet tangled up in front of the mound. He's walking it off. Nobody's going to come out and check on him. It just looked like he was, he's laughing. Just looked like as he was finishing his throw or finishing the pitch, his right leg was swinging around the plant leg and then was trying to reach back across his body to field the ground ball. Luckily, just limbs got tangled up there. Nothing serious as that pitch inside to Trace Lair, and the count 1-0. 4-2 High Point here in the 5th. O'Sullivan's fastball. There's the strike, 1 ball and 1 strike to Trace Lair. Lair doubled his first time up, would come around and score on the double from Trayvon Robinson. That one misses outside, 2-1. You know, I like this a lot better from Liam O'Sullivan. He's not working as slowly as he had recently. I think now that he's speeding up a little bit, not taking as much time between pitches, I think it's allowed him to be more effective. He's not waiting. He's not thinking too much on the mound. He's just get the ball and go, or at least more so than perhaps he had been as that pitch fouled off 2-2. And here comes the 2-2. Off speed. That is cranked right field side. It's well foul, thankfully. The count remains 2-2. Lair only 2 home runs on the season. That one hit on the ground up the middle. Alfonso scooped it up. Back behind second base, threw on to first in time. That's a 1-2-3 for Liam O'Sullivan. With that, we're halfway home. Rockers lead it 4-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, Rockers lead by 2. They'll have 3, 4, 5 coming up here. Morrison, Lattimore, and Xander Wheel, the 3 scheduled hitters. Logan Morrison, a 2-run home run in the first inning and a walk his second time up. He's extended his on-base streak to a current active best on the team, 10 games. We talked about it a little bit last night. He's really gotten hot at the right time. Eric Manoah Jr., first pitch to Morrison here in the bottom of the fifth. That's a fastball, top of the zone. Nope, too far in, it looks like, and the count 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Morrison. Off speed, he'll take that one just down and in. And the count 2-0 now. Eric Manoah Jr. 84 pitches, only 44 strikes. There's been a couple, at least according to the pitch tracker, though. He's gotten squeezed a little bit in the strike zone. It has been a bit of a difficult day for him. I'd be willing to attest to that. Both those pitches to Morrison probably could have been called strikes. Here comes a 2-0, though. Morrison can't handle the changeup. The count 2-1. 2 runs on 4 hits for Lancaster, 4 runs on 5 hits for High Point. Quincy Lattimore, the man on deck, drove in a run earlier today. Here's the 2-1 to Morrison. He swings and fouls that one weakly back behind the plate, and the count 2-2. And you can tell by the look on his face, that was the pitch he should have gotten. He just wasn't able to connect to it. This is most likely Manoah's final inning of work. Pitch count up around 90 now. The righty delivers the 2-2. Morrison strikes out for out number 1. That'll bring up Quincy Lattimore, 1 for 2 with an RBI base hit. Infield had a heavy shift on for Morrison. They've gone back to a normal positioning here for Lattimore. Manoah's first pitch to Lattimore, a curveball. It's in there for a called strike, and the count 0-1. Manoah holds the set. 0-1 on the way. Another curveball. This one, though, too far outside. And it's 1-1. One coming. Fastball up and in. 2-1. Let's take a quick peek at the Genomes game again. Gastonia has come back in a big way. They lead 6-3 now in the 5th. Another fastball up and in to Lattimore. Couple of boos coming down from the fans. I don't think it's intentional. Eric Manoah's missed up and in to right-handers all night. He's just not had his best control. Here's the pitch, outside ball 4. Lattimore works a 1-out walk. For Gastonia, Joseph Rosa's 20th home run of the year. Up to 86 RBIs. Reese Hampton's 59th steal, Reinheimer's 50th. So Lattimore is at first base with 1 out. That'll bring up Xander Wheel, 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. And with that walk to Lattimore, the Barnstormer bullpen starts to crank up. Lattimore goes, first pitch, it's a high fastball. Throw down to second base is late. Lattimore in with the stolen base. That is his 7th of the year. Not a great throw from Anthony Peroni. It was high and to the first base side of second, making Trace Layer have to work to catch that baseball. Here comes a 1-0 to Xander Wheel, now a runner in scoring position. Manoah delivers, that pitch low. Peroni now tries to throw behind Lattimore. Quincy is back in standing. So it's now 2-0. I don't know, this may be the final hitter for Eric Manoah Jr. Here's the 2-0. Wheel takes a fastball, called strike at the bottom of the zone, and the count 2-1. There's a fastball. Could have been a bit below the knees, but Xander Wheel was not upset with that call, was nodding his head. Does look like it caught the bottom of the zone. Here's the 2-1. That's low, and the count 3-1. Next pitch will be number 97. Here comes the 3-1. Manoah fires fastball, Wheel swings, drives it into center. But right there and making the catch is Mercedes. Melvin Mercedes snags the line drive, out number 2. That'll bring up Rodani Baldwin. Peeking into the Lancaster dugout. Looks like they're going to let Manoah face Baldwin because he was able to get Xander Wheel. Ross Peoples, former pitcher himself for the Lancaster Barnstormers. In fact, he was, if I remember correctly, on the inaugural Barnstormer team. First pitch to Baldwin. He'll take that for a strike, and the count 0-1. Peoples pitched in the Mets organization from 2000 to 2003. Runner goes for third. This one lined to first base, though, and Carpenter will make the catch. Joseph Carpenter catches the soft line drive off of the bat of Baldwin, and the Rockers will strand one aboard. Quincy Lattimore stuck at second after walking and stealing second. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Rockers, though, lead by 2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. It's 4-2. Top of the 6th inning. Rockers lead 4-2. It'll be the top of the lineup. Mercedes, Robinson, and Cordero coming up here. Melvin Mercedes 0 for 2. Liam O'Sullivan at 66 pitches. looking to continue his night. First pitch to Mercedes. That's a called strike, and the count 0-1. Might be able to get through 7. We'll see. Those pitches that O'Sullivan has thrown this year is 96. The count 1-1 to Mercedes. I think the important thing is going to be how he gets through the top of the lineup here. Here's the 1-1. And that is skied foul, out of play and out of the building, left field side. The count 1-2. This one slammed on the ground to first base. Logan Morrison will take it himself. It's a race to first base. And Morrison wins. Out number 1. And that'll bring up Trayvon Robinson, the one guy who really Liam O'Sullivan's not been able to figure out today. Robinson, a home run in the first, an RBI double in the second. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. High Point does have action in the bullpen. It's a right-hander who's just gotten up to start throwing. I believe that's Junior Rincon. Here's the 1-0. Inside again to Robinson, 2-0. This has been one of O'Sullivan's better starts. Here's the 2-0. That's a strike, 2-1. Right-hander still up in the pen for the Barnstormers as well. I think Manoa probably done. That pitch outside. The count 3-1. Timeout called from Trayvon Robinson. There's a fire truck going by over the right field side. I think Trayvon Robinson is letting that get out of the way. Here comes the 3-1 now. That's a fastball up and in, ball 4. And that'll bring up Andretti Cordero. He's 0 for 2. Cordero representing the tying run here in the top of the 6th. Robinson takes his lead off of first base. He's only got 6 steals this year. First pitch to Cordero, slams it down the left field side. It's curling foul, and it is a foul ball. And the count 0-1. Very emphatic foul call from home plate umpire Dan Carter. O'Sullivan again is a ground ball pitcher. Nine outs on the ground today. 10 technically if you include both ends of the double play. It's 10 out of 13 outs so far. Swing and a miss in the count 0-2. Check that, 10 out of 16 outs so far. It's also recorded 4 flyouts and 1 strikeout. That was Joseph Carpenter back in the 3rd. Here comes an 0-2 to Andretti Cordero. And he fouls that one off. Cordero now hitting .333. Let's see where that puts him in relation to Alejandro De Aza. De Aza hitting at .343 now, so yeah. about a 10-point difference in batting average now. As that pitch missed, it's 1-2 to Andretti Cordero. Here's the 1-2. Hit on the ground to third. Rockers could turn two. Baldwin goes to second for one. Here's the relay to first in time. Around the horn, a 5-4-3 double play. Second double play the Rockers have turned behind Liam O'Sullivan today. And we'll head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Rockers lead 4-2. So we go to the bottom of the sixth on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Pint. Thank you for subscribing to our Rockers YouTube channel. We appreciate you watching our home squad even when you cannot make it into the stadium. Be sure to shop our online Rockers merchandise from home. Simply head to highpointrockers.com and click on the merchandise tab. We know your friends and family would love to rock some home team merchandise.
Eric Manoah goes 5 innings today for the Barnstormers, gives up 4 runs, all of them earned, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And he is currently on the hook for the loss today for the Barnstormers. New pitcher is Dominic DiSabatino. DiSabatino last year was one of the premier starters for the Barnstormers. This year, more out of the bullpen. He's 6-5 on the year, 6.80 ERA, 19 appearances. 5 of them have been starts. 7 home runs allowed, 31 walks, 36 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .247 against him. But those 31 walks in 41 innings have been a bit of an issue for him. So for the Rockers, it'll be the bottom third of the lineup: Aklinski, Alfonso, and Moore. First pitch coming to Aklinski from DiSabatino. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. Ben Aklinski today is 0 for 1. Check that. 1 for 2 with a base hit and a stolen base. DiSabatino set, ready with the 0-1. Aklinski will take that fastball just off of the outside corner. Barnstormers 2 runs on 4 hits. High Point 4 runs on 5 hits. Here's the pitch. Strike at the knees. And the count 1-2. Wind is not much of a factor now. Not like what we saw yesterday. Yesterday it just did not go away, even to the end of the game. Usually once the sun goes down, so too does the wind. But Aklinski fouls that off. Count stays 1-2. Yesterday it just kind of felt like it was nonstop. Also, the Rockers, I thought they had Junior Rincon down there in the bullpen. Now they've got somebody else up, and I can't quite tell who it is. That may be Seth Frankoff, who I have not seen yet because Frankoff pitched while I was out sick. Fastball to Aklinski. Strike 3 looking. They're going to ring him up. Ben is not happy. He is talking to Dan Carter about where he thought that pitch was. That's strike 3. And that'll bring up Alfonso, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI base hit. So, yeah, it does look like Liam O'Sullivan's going to be finished after 6 innings, but 6 good innings for the Rockers starter today, in line for what would be his 4th win of the year. Alfonso will take a fastball called strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And really at this point, all the games the Rockers play, you could really say are must-win games. Here's the pitch outside, 1-1. Obviously, this is a big if because there's a lot of time to go in both games, but if the Rockers win and if the Genomes lose, High Point's magic number drops down to 6. Here comes a 1-1. DiSabatino delivers low. Alfonso chased it, should have left it alone. And the count 1-2 strikes. Well, all 3 games in this series have been tight games. 7-5 Barnstormer win on Tuesday was a back-and-forth affair. Yesterday, of course, was 1-1 until the 9th inning. The Rockers with the walk-off grand slam. So far today, a 2-run difference. Here's the 1-2. Alfonso fouls it off. DiSabatino comes set, ready with the 1-2. Inside, off-speed pitch. Alfonso turned out of the way of it, and the count remains 2-2. Or moves to 2-2, rather. A little win today for High Point, just from a history standpoint. Give the Rockers a winning season for their 3rd year in a row to start the history of the franchise. Alfonso lifts a fly ball out to right. Chris Proctor is there, and there is out number 2. That'll bring up Logan Moore. He's 0 for 2 today. Logan Moore, a fly out to right field and a strikeout swinging, got him on an off-speed pitch. Manoah did back in the 4th inning. 3 infielders on the first base side of second for the Barnstormers, and Moore swings and misses that off-speed pitch down, and the count 0-1. Michael Russell, leadoff man for the Rockers in the on-deck circle. Here's the 0-1 from DiSabatino. Off-speed pitch ends up at the feet of Logan Moore, and he's able to step out of the way of it. And the count moves to 1-1. DiSabatino set, 1-1 on the way. The righty fires. Logan Moore takes a fastball inside. And the count 2-1. High Point has done a good job taking pitches tonight. Only a handful of times they've really been caught chasing stuff out of the zone. Moore fouls that one off late on the fastball, and the count 2-2. DiSabatino trying for what would be a 1-2-3 first inning, or a first inning of work for him. That pitch fouled off. The count remains 2-2. Obviously, I want to mention a scary situation in the Legends and Charleston game today. Dakota Freeze of the Legends has been taken to a hospital, being hit in the head, the line drive right back up the middle. So obviously we are certainly thinking of Dakota Freeze right now and hoping that everything turns out okay there. Never want to see that. Pitchers getting hit with a line drive, always a scary, scary thing in baseball. The count is full to Logan Moore. DiSabatino delivers. Moore strikes out. And we are through 6 innings of play. We'll head to the top of the 7th. The Rockers will head to the bullpen. And the Rockers lead 4-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Rockers go to the bullpen. A solid 6 innings of work from Liam O'Sullivan. Gives up 2 runs, both of them earned. 4 hits, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. And they'll turn it over to one of the newest High Point Rockers, Seth Frankoff. Frankoff spent part of 3 seasons in the major leagues, making 7 career appearances with 3 starts. And making his 2nd appearance as a High Point Rocker, pitched here 1 game in the York Series. Pitched 2 scoreless innings, striking out 2. Began the year in Mexico. Last year, pitched 4 games, major leagues with Arizona. So this is a guy who has been at the big league level recently. First pitch, a fastball strike on the inside corner to Anderson Feliz. It is Feliz, Barfield, and Proctor. That's 4, 5, 6. In the Barnstormer lineup here in the top of the 7th inning. Frankoff, the right-hander, fires off-speed pitch, grounded off of the foot of Feliz. That was a slider, and it, again, caught the foot of Anderson Feliz, and the count 0-2. Anderson trying to shake off that front foot. Frankoff ready. Here comes an 0-2. Bounces that one in front of the plate. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the the nickname that Lancaster broadcaster Dave Collins has not so lovingly affixed at Truist Point is the House of Horrors. As Feliz fouls that off, and the count remains 1-2. He talks about how Lancaster couldn't seem to normally buy a win here at Truist Point. He was lamenting that the last time the Barnstormers were here back at the beginning of the season. Here comes a 1-2 to Feliz. Fastball inside, 2-2. He told me, he said, I love coming here because this is one of the friendliest visiting ballparks. And I hate coming here because Lancaster doesn't normally perform well. They've played well this series, though. I will absolutely tip my cap to Ross Peoples and his crew over there. Some very good ball games this week. That pitch grounded right side of the infield. Michael Russell gobbles it up in shallow right field. Will throw on to first base, and that will retire Feliz for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Jacob Barfield, 0 for 2. Both bullpens quiet, so Dominic DiSabatino should come back out for the bottom of the 7th, it would appear. First pitch, that's bounced in the turf, and the count 0-1. It's probably a good thing, too. Right as Frankoff was starting his motion, Ross Peoples dropped some papers that were in his pocket, lineup cards and such. That pitch, a swing and a miss, 1-1. And he bent down to get it, and I was just thinking, just don't line it foul over that way. Ross wouldn't be able to see it in time. It's a ball and a strike to Barfield, the designated hitter for the Barnstormers. And Frankoff delivers, fastball. That misses, 2-1. It's been a pretty clean score sheet for Rockers pitchers today. Here's the 2-1. That, though, is hit deep into left field. That might be another mark on it. Yep, there's a solo home run for Jacob Barfield, his 4th of the year. And the Rockers' 2-run lead has been cut to 1. It's 4-3. Second solo home run by Lancaster today. That'll bring up Chris Proctor. He's 0 for 2. First run that Frankoff has allowed is a high point rocker. And the first pitch, Proctor grounds this one right to Russell. It's a sharp one hopper, and Russell will throw on to first base, and that's out number 2. Five hits per side. Rockers have one more run. They lead at 4-3 here in the top of the 7th. The batter is Anthony Peroni, the catcher, 0 for 2. Well, now High Point's going to need to find a way to grab another run or two, get him a little insurance. Peroni hits this one a one-hopper to short. Alfonso gets up. It was hit right to him, but he caught it on the knee. Threw on to first base, and that is the final out of the inning. But a solo home run from Barfield. It is a one-run game. Rockers lead trimmed to 4-3. And with that, it's stretch time. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, Dominic DiSabatino will face the top of the Rockers lineup. Russell, Martinez, and Morrison. It is a one-run game, 4-3 the score. Rockers 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Lancaster 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 just moments ago in the 7th. So here's Michael Russell. He is 0 for 2 today with a walk. It looks like a little bit of stirring in the Barnstormer bullpen. Obviously, DiSabatino will be starting this inning, but I think there's a decent chance he may not finish it. First pitch coming. Fastball inside to Russell, and the count 1-0. Well, at least, unlike the last time that Russell faced Eric Manoah, that pitch wasn't up and in at his head. That was more knee-high, and not the soda. Here comes a 1-0. Russell lines this down the left field side. That could kick around in the corner for extra bases. Trayvon Robinson slow in getting to the baseball, and it will be an easy double as Russell coasts into second base. A leadoff double for Russell. High Point needs to grab a little bit of insurance after the Barnstormers trimmed the lead to 1 in the top of this inning, and Michael Russell, he and Aklinski both some doubles machines, and now that Russell has started to heat up again, he's starting to do it. Aklinski obviously 32 doubles this season, but Russell, that was his 29th. He's right behind him. Here's Michael Martinez, 1 for 2. Also a walk and 2 runs scored. Martinez squaring around to bunt. Now pulls back and slaps it towards third base. Heading to third base is Russell, and everybody's going to be safe. Andretti Cordero got distracted by Michael Russell, looked at third base, then tried to throw to first base, and that was all the time that Michael Martinez needed. That's a big mistake there from Andretti Cordero. Rockers have runners at the corners with nobody out. So that'll bring up Logan Morrison. Morrison hit a 2-run home run back in the first inning. DiSabatino set. First pitch on the way. Setting up inside is Anthony Peroni. Morrison swings, lines it into center field. This is going to get down and go to the wall. Russell will score easily. Here comes Michael Martinez. He'll score easily. It is a 2-run double for Logan Morrison, and the Rockers lead 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, with the defense shifted around for the left-hander Logan Morrison, he smacks it almost to straightaway center field, and because of the shift, no way the Melvin Mercedes was going to be able to get to that baseball. 2 RBIs for Morrison gives him a 4 RBI night, 51 on the year. And the Rockers have started this inning double, single, double. The next batter is Quincy Lattimore. First pitch, fastball strike at the knees, and the count 0-1. This one grounded foul, third base side, the count 0-2. Here comes an 0-2. DiSabatino looks back at Morrison and bounces that one. Gets away from Peroni. Morrison's going to head to third. Here comes the throw. It's late. And a wild pitch will move another insurance run for High Point over to third now. Rockers lead 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the 1-2. DiSabatino delivers. This one grounded right down the third base line. It's going to go foul. Logan Morrison was charging down the line. Looked like he pulled up a little bit at the end, but he's heading down to third base now. Quincy Lattimore, a chance to bring the Rockers lead up to 4, would be the largest lead of the game. Right now, it's already the largest lead of the game at 3 runs. Here comes a 1-2. DiSabatino holds the set and delivers. Lattimore takes low, 2-2. Xander Wheel, the man on deck. Two on the way. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. That's low, and the count goes full. Infield has come in for the Barnstormers, and this may be the final hitter for DiSabatino. Especially if he walks in more, if Lattimore picks up a base hit. Payoff pitch coming. The right-hander fires, and this is poked foul down the first base side and out of play. Well, here's the important thing. Every time Lancaster is scored tonight, the Rockers have answered immediately. Barnstormers, 1 run in the first, Rockers answer with 2. Lancaster, 1 run in the third, Rockers answer with 1. Lancaster, 1 run in the 7th, Rockers answer with 2. So not only are they answering, they're answering and then some. Here's another 3-2, grounded towards short, scooped up by Feliz. The throw home gets Logan Morrison, who tumbles home. It was less of a slide and more of a somersaulting something. Lattimore will be at first base with 1 out. Good play, Anderson Feliz. So here is Xander Wheel, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. You know, if Lattimore hits that ball a little bit harder, I think it gets through. Feliz just stabbed at it. Was all he could do. But we'll see if Xander Wheel can try to keep this inning going. There's a strike in the inside corner, 0-1. Still just one out, but you kind of lost your scoring threat without the runner at third base. Here comes a 0-1. Fastball, that's down below the bottom of the zone, and the count 1-1. Lattimore a modest lead off of first, although he inches another half step or so here. 1-1 coming. DiSabatino fires. Xander Wheel check swing. That pitch down and away, 2-1. Rockers have sent 4 men to the plate so far, and there's only one out. Xander Wheel, the 5th man. DiSabatino ready. Here comes the 2-1. Off-speed pitch, strike on the inside corner, the count 2-2. Xander Wheel nods his head. That was in there. Apparently not really a pitch he felt like he could do a whole lot of damage with. Here comes the 2-2. DiSabatino looks in and fires. Wheel swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the second out here in the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Rodani Baldwin. Baldwin and Logan Moore, the only 3 Rockers to not reach base yet tonight. Both of them 0 for 3. There are now 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Barnstormers will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up in the 8th inning. First pitch, that bounces, and Peroni able to keep it close by. Throw down to first base, and it is not in time. In safely is Lattimore back in. The count 1-0 to Baldwin. Three runs on 5 hits for Lancaster, 6 runs on 8 hits for High Point. Here comes a 1-0. DiSabatino looks in and fires. Big swing and a miss. Rodani Baldwin spins himself in a circle, coming up empty with that one, and the count 1-1. He's an all-or-nothing hitter. He will give you every ounce of what he's got in every single pitch. Every single swing. Throw over to first base. Lattimore back in safely again. Here's the 1-1. Popped up first base side. Carpenter gives it a look. He's not going to have a play. It'll get out of play, 1-2. Right-hander that was throwing in the Barnstormer bullpen, standing there ready to come in, but DiSabatino 1 strike away from finishing off the 7th inning, and although he gave up a couple of runs, he does look like he's going to be able to get out of the 7th inning on his own. That's roped foul, third base side. Coming up in the top of the 8th inning, we'll give you another look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Southern Maryland dominating the Ducks in a bit of a close battle. The Honey Hunters are still the Rockers' best friends right now. Here comes a 1-2. Baldwin takes strike 3. And that'll wrap things up here in the 7th inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dominic DiSabatino, but the Rockers score 2. An RBI, 2-run double from Logan Morrison. And Frankoff will head back out for the top of the 8th. Rockers lead 6-3 now on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning. Frankoff back out on the mound to face Carpenter, Lair, and Mercedes. That is 8-9-1 in the Barnstormer lineup. We'll take a look around the Atlantic League. Southern Maryland is thumping Staten Island 11-0. They've just reached the top of the 8th inning, same as we have here. I'm going to talk about key performers. Braxton Lee, 3 RBIs today. Alex Crosby, a triple and 3 RBIs. Jack Sundberg hit his 5th home run of the year. Mitch Lamson, 7 shutout innings. As Frankoff's first pitch is a fastball strike to Joseph Carpenter. Elsewhere, a really good game at Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania. Carpenter takes outside, 1-1. 8-7 the score in favor of the Long Island Ducks. They're in the top of the 6th inning. Dustin Woodcock launched his 13th home run of the year. 4 runs batted in. That was a grand slam. A couple of home runs for the Revs. The Ducks had an early 8-1 lead. Revs have come back, though. There's a swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. Home runs from Troy Stokes Jr., J.C. Encarnacion, and Josue Herrera. So again, Ducks lead by 1 in that one. Lexington on top of Charleston 6-3. They are in the middle of the 6th inning of that contest. Tillman Pugh's 15th home run of the season. Courtney Hawkins 1 for 3 today. The other side of things, Edwin Espinal with an RBI. Nick Heath has driven in a couple. And, of course, the big story again, Dakota Freeze hit with the line drive. Starting pitcher for Lexington was taken to a nearby hospital. So, again, we certainly hope that everything is okay with Dakota Freeze, and should hopefully hear some news soon from that game. Before we get to the Gastonia game, the 3-2 pitch coming to Carpenter. Frankoff fires. Carpenter, high fly into deep center. Going back is Aklinski. He's got room. He'll make the catch. That is out number 1. Gastonia, 7-3 lead over the Genomes. Joseph Rosa's 20th home run of the year. Reese Hampton has driven in a couple of runs. Jake Skoll has as well. Rosa's 2 RBIs give him now 86 on the season. Ian McKinney went 5 innings for the Honey Hunters. For the Genomes, Jimmy Paredes drove in 1. Eli Villanueva went 6 innings, giving up 6 runs, striking out 10. Again, 6-3 Honey Hunters. They are approaching the 7th inning stretch. First pitch to Trace Lair, that misses outside, ball 1. If this game holds and that game holds, the Rockers' magic number goes from 8 to 6. With a key and pivotal and insert adjective here series against the Genomes this weekend as that pitch low 2-0. And, that's kind of the thing, just on paper. You want to talk about who has the edge. This is a great offense that the Genomes have, but I don't really think the pitching is all the way there right now. That pitch outside 3-0. If you want to rank pitching or compare pitching, I do think the Rockers have an advantage in terms of pitching staff, especially with the starters High Point is rolling out this week. Mitch Atkins, Craig Stim, and Neil Uscali. Here's a 3-0 to Lair. He'll take outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Trace Lair. So that will bring up Melvin Mercedes, who's 0 for 3. Corners playing in. Mercedes, though, doesn't look like he's going to show bunt. That pitch from Frankoff, a strike. And the count 0-1. Right-hander back up in the bullpen for the Barnstormers. Here comes an 0-1. Frankoff delivers. Slider high and tight. And the count 1-1. Well, the big hits today, the 2-run home run for Morrison and the 2-run double for Morrison. I think he is running away with player of the game, although you got to give a tip of the cap to Liam O'Sullivan as this one lined right field side foul. The count 1-2. Carpenter, a small lead over at first base. That pitch, a fastball just off the low and inside corner, 2-2. Timeout called at the plate by Mercedes. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Here comes the 2-2. Slider, looked good to me. But Frankoff doesn't get the call and the count goes full. Must have been inside. Both pitchers, or both pitching staffs at least, have felt a little bit restricted by Dan Carter's strike zone tonight. I think that one, another one that could have been called. Here's a 3-2. That's grounded. It's going to go through into right field, a base hit. A single for Melvin Mercedes will bring the tying run to the plate and Trayvon Robinson. Robinson 2 for 2, a home run, a double. Both of them have driven in a run. Jamie Keefe is going to come out and talk. Rockers don't have anybody in the bullpen right now, so this is not a move to take Seth Frankoff out of the game. Tying run at the plate would be Trayvon Robinson. Quick meeting at the mound has concluded. Reminder, the jerseys the Rockers are wearing today, as you see Jamie Keefe walking across the screen right now, these are up and available to place your bid on the LiveSource app right now as we speak. Go to the LiveSource app. It's free to download, or head to the LiveSource website to place your bid. Bidding, again, open right now, and it is open probably through, I would guess, through Monday or Tuesday. I'll try to get confirmation on that. As the first pitch to Trayvon Robinson, a strike on the inside corner. Proceeds for these auctions go to Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Hayworth Cancer Center in support of breast cancer research. Here comes an 0-1. Robinson takes inside, and the count 1-1. Still one out in the inning. Rockers would love to get the double play ball here. Something on the ground. They got one on the ground from Melvin Mercedes, but it found its way between Michael Russell and Logan Morrison. Frankoff is ready with a 1-1 and steps off. High Point bullpen still quiet. Here comes a 1-1. Robinson chases that one down out of the zone. And the count 1-2. You got to try to get at least one out here without moving the base runners over, because you got Andretti Cordero coming up. Of course, Cordero second in the league and runs batted in. Here comes the pitch. That's down in the turf. Gobbled up by Logan Moore. And the count 2-2. Frankoff throws out the baseball, gets a new one. Tying run is at the plate for the Barnstormers here in the 8th inning. Here comes a 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's a big out right there. Out number 2 here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Andretti Cordero. Cordero was 0 for 4 yesterday. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Seth Frankoff trying to get out of this 8th. In the bottom of the 8th, the Rockers will have the bottom third of the lineup. Aklinski, Alfonso, and more. But their thoughts right now are trying to get through this top of the 8th first. That pitch inside, 1-0. Lancaster, 36-19 in the second half, 65-56 overall. High Point, 27-29 in the half, 66-56 overall. Is that one lined foul, left field side, 1-1. And if everything holds, obviously that's a big if, with the Barnstormers mounting a bit of a rally here. They'd lose a full game of their lead of the North Division. Southern Maryland would cut it from 5 to 4. Here's the 1-1. That's low, 2-1. Frankoff approaching 40 pitches. Next one will be number 37. Runner at second base rather is Trey Slayer. Runner at first base is Melvin Mercedes. Neither one being held on. Here comes the 2-1. Frankoff delivers. That's low, 3-1. You know, for a moment, Junior Rincon was starting to stretch in the High Point bullpen, but right now he is taking a seat. He might get cranked right back up again. If Cordero is able to reach base. Timeout called by Cordero at the plate. Anderson Feliz in the on-deck circle. Frankoff's got to dig deep and find a way out of this. Here's the 3-1. That's low, ball 4. That'll load the bases. Lair goes to third. Mercedes goes to second. That'll bring up Anderson Feliz. Tying run is Cordero at first. Feliz would be the go-ahead. Rockers are going to get the bullpen up. You wonder if it may be a little bit too late. Things start to snowball here because they didn't have anybody already up and throwing. It is, I believe, Junior Rincon up in the bullpen. Is that pitch low? And the count 1-0. Actually, I believe that's Tyler Higgins that's throwing in the bullpen right now. I can't see any sort of features, any sort of number. Just trying to go strictly off of movement or motion. That pitch inside, and the count 2-0. Coming to Anderson Feliz. That's low, and it gets away from Logan Moore. Coming in and scoring on the wild pitch is Trace Lair. It's now a 6-4 game, and they've got to get Higgins ready in a hurry because Frankoff cannot throw a strike here in the 8th inning. So runner at third is Mercedes. Runner at second is Cordero. Logan Moore going out to talk signs for a moment, but really we all know this to get Tyler Higgins a chance to throw a couple more pitches. It's 3-0 to Anderson Feliz, and I think they want to try to get Higgins ready to face Barfield. That misses ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Anderson Feliz. So Jamie Keefe is coming out. I think that's going to be the end of the day for Frankoff. Tough situation here in the top of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers have the tying run at second. They have the go-ahead run at first. And the Rockers are going to turn it over to Tyler Higgins, who I think is going to try to go for perhaps the 4-out save. Ryan Dole went 4 outs for the win yesterday, and they'll turn it over to Higgins, who's going to try to make up for what was a rough outing on Tuesday. And he'll have a chance for a little bit of redemption here tonight. We'll step aside and give you his numbers when we come back on the Rockers Baseball Network. So we can't close the book yet on Seth Frankoff, but we can tell you Tyler Higgins is the man in for the Rockers. He and Ryan Dole kind of sharing the late inning duties now. Higgins on the year 2-1 at 2.19 ERA. This is his 13th appearance, and he's got to get out of a bases-loaded jam. The batter is Jacob Barfield. Mercedes is at third. Cordero, the tying run, is at second. Feliz, the go-ahead run, is at first. Higgins also 17 strikeouts, only one walk in his 12 1/3 innings. Swing and a miss. Barfield today 1 for 3 with the solo homer. Here comes an 0-1. Higgins fastball, that misses low. And the count 1-1. A lot of downhill movement from Tyler. 6'3", 215. Reached AAA in the Padres organization. Actually reached AAA with a couple of teams, most recently with the Padres. He's overall been impressive as a Rocker. That one bounces off of the front of the plate and goes to the backstop. It's 6-5. Tying run is now at third base. So much for a comfy 3-run lead. It's now a 1-run lead for High Point. Cordero, the tying run at third. There's a pinch runner over at second base. That pitch high. The count 3-1. Trying to see who that is over there. I'm not sure who that is. We'll try to get that figured out. That's probably Jake Hoover, I bet. That pitch inside. That's ball 4. So the bases are loaded again. Chris Proctor is the batter. So Chris Proctor 0 for 3 today. Rockers' lead is 1. They've got to get out of this bases loaded jam right here. First pitch to Proctor. There's a strike, 0-1. Higgins set at the belt, 0-1, swing and a foul back to the backstop, and the count 0-2 now. Higgins 1 strike away from getting out of a bases loaded jam here in the 8th. Then it'll be up to the Rockers to try to grab a little more insurance if possible. But right now, the focus is right here. Higgins set. Here's an 0-2. Fastball hit high in the air into left. Going back is Lattimore. He's got space in front of the track, makes the catch. Tyler Higgins gets the Rockers out of a bases-loaded jam. The Barnstormers score twice, but High Point, by the thinnest of margins, maintains the lead, 6-5. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany here. Have you had a chance to download the Live Source app on your phone yet? It's your tool to bid on your favorite players' specialty jerseys. Download the Live Source app now and be ready to bid on your jerseys right at your fingertips.
Bottom of the 8th inning. And the Barnstormers go to the bullpen. Dominic DiSabatino, 2 innings, gave up 2 runs. Both of them were earned, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 1 wild pitch. He'll turn it over to Donald Goodson, 1-0 with a 5.49 ERA, 36 appearances this year, 41 innings, 28 walks, 45 strikeouts rather, and a 272 average. Rockers lead by just 1. It's the bottom third of the lineup, Aklinski, Alfonso, and Moore. Ben Aklinski 1 for 3 today. Also, Jake Hoover has remained in the game at shortstop for the Lancaster Barnstormers, replacing Anderson Feliz. Donald Goodson ready for his first pitch of the day. And throws that one right at the head of Aklinski. Aklinski taking a while to get back up. I don't think any of these have been intentional, but a lot of pitches from Barnstormer pitchers have been up and in today. Donald Goodson against High Point this year, 1-0 with an ERA of 9, 3 runs in 3 innings. Fastball high to Aklinski, 2-0. Goodson set, 2-0 on the way. Fastball, that misses outside, and it's 3-0, 95 miles an hour there. He's always been a hard-throwing right-hander for the Barnstormers. Control has been the issue. There's a high fastball, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Aklinski to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Alfonso, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI, or 1 for 3 rather with an RBI. It's turned into a walk fest here. Barnstormer pitchers have walked 6. High Point pitchers have walked 5. 4 of them have come out of the High Point bullpen. Frankoff walked 3. Higgins walked 1. Looks like Higgins will try for the 4-out save. Fastball to Alfonso, a strike at 95 miles an hour on the inside corner. Gastonia has extended their lead 8-3 over the Genomes. Here comes an 0-1. Fastball grounded towards third base, scooped up by Cordero to second for 1. Off-balance throw to first base. Good throw, though, by Trace Lair. And the Barnstormers go around the horn 5-4-3 for a double play, and that'll bring up Logan Moore with 2 outs and the bases empty. Logan Moore 0 for 3 tonight. Well, we knew this game wasn't going to get too far out of hand one way or the other. They've all been close games here in this series, and the finale proving to be no different. First pitch, a strike to Moore, and the count 0-1. Goodson set, 0-1 on the way. That fastball fouled off, and that'll get out onto Gatewood Avenue. The count 0-2. Be curious to see if the Rockers make any defensive changes in the bottom of, or in the top of the 9th inning, rather. Is that pitch down low, 1-2. Don't know if Jay Gonzalez is here. I didn't see him earlier. Of course, he and his wife expecting their first child any day now, if they have not already. I've not heard either way. Moore swings and misses, strike 3. And obviously, if Jay is here. I would think he may be available for a defensive replacement here in the top of the ninth inning, but we'll see. We go to the top of the ninth now. Rockers lead by 1. Tyler Higgins looking for the 4-out save when we come back on the Rockers Baseball Network. Defensive changes aplenty here in the top of the ninth inning. Tyler Higgins looking for the 4-out save. He'll face the bottom third of the lineup, Peroni, Carpenter, and Lair. Rockers defensively, Jay Gonzalez is in the game in center field now. Ben Aklinski's moved from center to right. Michael Martinez has gone from right to second, and Michael Russell from second to third. Well, Donnie Baldwin out of the game. That's where Jay Gonzalez slides in the lineup. That pitch low. So the new defensive alignment goes as follows. Lattimore in left, Gonzalez in center, and Aklinski in right. The infield is Russell, Alfonso, Martinez, and Morrison third to first. Here's the 1-0. That's low 2-0. Top of the ninth, Rockers lead by 1. Here's the 2-0. That's low. Higgins has to throw a strike. Frankoff was not, after a good first inning, could not find the strike zone much in the second. 42 pitches, 19 strikes. Higgins right now, 11 pitches, 4 strikes. There's one. I'm going to count 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 hit on the ground towards third. Russell scoops it up. Strong throw to first. There's one away. That'll bring up Joseph Carpenter. Nope, it's going to be a pinch hitter. This is going to be, we'll see who this is. Looked like number 18 on the uniform. I didn't see a number 18. 16, it's Ariel Sandoval. Ariel Sandoval to pinch hit for Carpenter. Ariel Sandoval on the season. We talked about him and the big numbers he's put up so far. 350 hitter. Sandoval shows bunt. That pitch down low. And the count 1-0. Base is empty. Sandoval the tying run. That pitch a strike, and the count 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Sandoval takes just down below the bottom of the zone, and the count goes to 2-1 now. So Tyler Higgins down in the count to Sandoval. Ariel Sandoval yesterday, a couple of big at-bats, a couple of doubles, in fact. He swings and ropes that one foul. And the count 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. Sandoval pops it up over our heads. That will be foul ball, and the count remains 2-2. All it takes is one swing of the bat to change things here in the top of the ninth inning. Higgins ready with the 2-2. Tapped weakly right back to the mound. Higgins will scoop it up. The throw on to first base is in time. Retires Sandoval for the out. That is the second out of the inning. The Barnstormers down to their final out. And it will be Trace Laird, the hitter. Trace Laird today is 1 for 2, a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Higgins comes set, first pitch. Fastball just outside, and the count 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Higgins fires, off-speed strike, and the count 1-1. Well, Tyler is recovered here when it counts. Starting to find the strike zone a little bit more here. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Rockers trying to cut the magic number down to 7. It could be as low as 6, with Gastonia leading by 5 in the 8th inning in their game over the Genomes. Either way, this team is sniffing the finish line, but you can't just sniff it. You got to jump over it. Here's the 1-2. Higgins set at the belt. Fires. Tapped foul. First base side. Tyler Higgins in search of what would be his 4th save as a Rocker. He would be 4 out of 5. Here comes a 1-2. Higgins fires. That's a fastball that is fouled straight back to the net. The count remains 1-2. Higgins looking for the final put-away pitch. If Laird gets on, it's the top of the lineup for the Barnstormers. Here comes the pitch. That is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was well outside, according to the pitch tracker. Higgins ready again. Here's the 2-2 to Laird. That's low and the count full. And you got to give the Barnstormers credit. They have not given up in this game, and they have made this an uncomfortable game for the Rockers, who have only trailed once today, 1-0 in the top of the first inning. But who knows? Barnstormers may have a little life left in them. Here's the 3-2. No, Lair swings and misses, strike three. And the Rockers, maybe not their best performance, but it was a much-needed win tonight. A 6-5 victory. The Rockers take the series against the Lancaster Barnstormers. The magic number is now 7, could be 6, as soon as the Honey Hunters and the Genomes finish up from Wild Health Field. Rockers postgame show coming up next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Welcome into the Rockers pregame or postgame show on the Rockers Baseball Network. No, don't worry, we don't have another one for you. That one was nail-biting enough. The High Point Rockers get it done today, 6-5, the final score over the Lancaster Barnstormers. The Rockers take the series 2-1. Magic number now down to 7 to clinch a spot as the wild card entrant in the 2022 postseason field. Did not come easily tonight. Trayvon Robinson of the Barnstormers gets the scoring started in the top of the first inning with a solo home run, but Logan Morrison's two-run blast that just missed clearing the scoreboard. Would have been the second year in a row he's done that against the Barnstormers, but that two-run home run made it a 2-1 High Point lead. In the top of the third, the Barnstormers got one back, an RBI double from, again, Trayvon Robinson. Made it a 2-2 score, but in the bottom of the inning, the Rockers able to answer on Quincy Lattimore's RBI base hit. In the fourth inning, High Point gets another one, an RBI hit off of the bat of Giovanni Alfonso. They go ahead 3-2. And then in the top of the seventh inning, everybody finishes up, or at least the Rockers finish up scoring in the seventh. But in the top of the seventh, Jacob Barfield, a solo home run makes it a 3-3 score. In the bottom of the inning, though, the Rockers bats come alive one more time. And check that, High Point was up 4-3 at that point. Missed one somewhere. I didn't add it up right. Anyways, Rockers up 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the seventh inning. A two-run double for Logan Morrison. Give him 4 RBIs on the night. Rockers lead it 6-3 at that point. 2 runs come in for the Barnstormers in the eighth inning. and they weren't able to get any closer. Rockers, a bend but don't break night from the bullpen. Magic number for the Rockers is 7. We'll take a look around the Atlantic League really quickly. Southern Maryland has taken down Staten Island, 11-0 the final score. Bottom of the 6th inning, top of the 8th inning rather. The Ducks on top of the Revolution, 11-7 now. Lexington, a 6-3 lead on Charleston, and Gastonia leads 9-3 over the Genomes. They head to the 9th inning. Magic number about to go down to 6 here very shortly, it looks like. Handing out a game ball today, it looks like it's going to go to Logan Morrison, 4 RBIs, a home run, and a double today. Honorable mention, though, to Liam O'Sullivan, who pitched arguably one of his best appearances as a High Point Rocker. O'Sullivan gets the win, going to 4-5. Eric Manoa Jr. takes the loss, falling to 3-3. Tyler Higgins notches the save, his 4th of the year. Final line score, Lancaster 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors. High Point 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. 1,762 in attendance tonight. And time of game, 3 hours and 9 minutes. Well, for the Rockers, this was big. They needed to take this series, and this was a series against a Lancaster Barnstormer team where, you know, this is a postseason team in Lancaster most likely, and so how do you stack up against them? Well, in a very nail-biting way, the Rockers got the job done, so certainly that bodes well for this team as we head into the final week and a half of the regular season. Just 3 series left between now and the beginning of the postseason. Where do the Rockers go from here? Well, this is where it gets interesting. They head to Kentucky to take on the Genomes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. And it all starts with Mitch Atkins getting the ball tomorrow. A 6:35 first pitch tomorrow from Wild Health Field in Lexington, Kentucky. We won't be there, but we will be bringing you the action. First pitch at 6:35. The Rockers pregame show will begin at 6 o'clock tomorrow night on MixLR. It's a free app. Download MixLR and search High Point Rockers Baseball. You don't want to miss any of the postseason push. Rockers' magic number is 7 right now. Could be 6 in as little as 10 minutes or so, but right now it is 7. So who knows? By the time that the Rockers are back against Gastonia next week, we could be talking about a postseason scenario. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves right now. Still some work to do this weekend. But the Rockers able to get the job done here tonight. Final score, the High Point Rockers 6, the Lancaster Barnstormers 5. A big thank you to both teams' media departments, as well as our control room and camera operators all throughout the ballpark for their fantastic work, as usual, here at Truist Point. And I think that's going to wrap things up on our penultimate home series of the 2022 regular season. One last time, your final score. The High Point Rockers 6, the Lancaster Barnstormers 5. The Rockers take the series. Their magic number is 7. I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a rocking good night. This has been a presentation of High Point Rockers Baseball on the Rockers Baseball Network.